How's it going, everybody? It's Prod here, and today I'm bringing you guys a video to talk to you guys about some Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, because for the past few months I've been hearing a lot of talk about Dark Souls 3 and basically kind of talking about the game how it's like Bloodborne 2, how it's basically going to be a rehashed version of Bloodborne because it looks so similar and it plays a lot like Bloodborne. Now, here's the thing. I haven't played the game, obviously, because it's not out yet, but I've seen a lot of footage. I've seen at least like 7 or 8 hours worth of footage when all the gameplays and stuff, even though most of that is confined within the first 4 hours, that's still a lot of hours to look over. But I did want to talk about it and kind of say, is Dark Souls 3 going to be basically like a rehashed version of Bloodborne? And even though Dark Souls 3 does take some aspects and borrow some aspects from other games, like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, and most notably Dark Souls 1, people feel like it's most like Bloodborne because it looks a lot like Bloodborne. So I did want to talk about that before the actual mechanics of the games, like Dark Souls 1 and stuff. But obviously it's going to look like Bloodborne. Bloodborne was basically From Software's very first attempt at an only current generation console game made for the PlayStation 4. So they didn't really have things to hold them back, like the capabilities of the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. So, this is what they came out with. This is something they worked extremely hard for to try to get just right for the graphics to look fantastic, which they do, man. Like, people, for some reason, are complaining that Dark Souls 3 looks a lot like Bloodborne in terms of the graphics, but the graphics for Bloodborne are beautiful, man. There's some of the best graphics that I've seen in any game, even compared to, the other current generation games. It still looks goddamn amazing. And I'm sure they came to the realization and said, we have this engine already that works out, that looks great, that we know people love, that is the Bloodborne engine. Why don't we use this engine and work on primarily focusing on the world of Dark Souls 3, making it as best as we possibly can, and including some of the best parts from Bloodborne, including the speed, because even though Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 are just fine, I think they're fantastic games, I do think that they do need a little bit of a speed bump. Bloodborne is such a fast game, such a fast-paced game, that going from that and then going to like a game like Dark Souls 2 or even Dark Souls 1 feels a little bit weird, just because this game is so fast and then those games feel so much slower. So I'm glad they added that little bit of extra speed from Bloodborne, even though it's obviously not going to be as fast as Bloodborne was, because Bloodborne had that quick step and that made the game just so much faster. So we're not going to have that in Dark Souls 3, but it's another thing that we do have to keep some of the old stuff there. So I'm glad it's not the entire full speed that Bloodborne is, because I don't think it would fit super well in the world of Dark Souls. But, like I said, it's not just Bloodborne that they're taking stuff from. They're taking stuff from all the other games, and I wouldn't say taking, because it feels like taking is just straight up copy and paste, take these things from these games and then just put them in this game. I feel like they're borrowing some of the things, putting them in this game to improve upon them and make them better, give them their own little spin that's going to make them unique, while still having that, sense of this is familiar, this is something that I recognize, which is a good thing, because some of those things from other games like Dark Souls 1, which are taking a lot of stuff from like movesets and stuff, are pretty fantastic. It's some of the best movesets. Obviously, they know that people love these games, so they're not going to mess them up and make them super weird. They're going to have that familiar sense while improving upon them to make them fit into Dark Souls 3, especially into, current generation consoles, which obviously do give you a lot more room to work with in terms of stuff that you could actually put into the game, how much you could put into the game, which makes me really excited, because what they did with Bloodborne, especially since it's a new IP, was pretty fantastic. And now that they have a little bit of experience with the current generation consoles, with PlayStation 4, they know what works and also what doesn't work. So they're, I think, honestly going to make an even better game than Bloodborne, which I'm really excited about, because they're also taking, like I said, stuff that people love from other games and just improving upon them and making their own unique things, because they already do have like unique things in the game from what we've seen. Just one of the biggest things that they've been actually pushing forward is the weapon arts. They've been showing a lot of stuff about the weapon arts, and the weapon art is completely new and it's such a cool idea. So for those of you guys who maybe were a little bit worried that Dark Souls 3 was going to be kind of like a lazy rehash of some of these older games, I really don't think you have anything to worry about. Even the people who have personally played the game firsthand have said that it has that same Dark Souls 1 familiar sense, the game that people love the most out of the entire Souls series, but with a new twist to it, making it new. I think that Dark Souls 3 is honestly just going to be like one of those games that takes stuff, kind of like almost every single sequel from other game studios that make great games, going to take some stuff from previous games and just improve upon them, make them better. So I'm very excited about Dark Souls 3. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is going to be kind of like a rehash of other games? Because I honestly don't think. I think that we're going to get some new experience that's just going to be fantastic. We haven't seen past the first 4 hours of the game, which I'm very excited. I honestly cannot wait to play this game. Come here on April 12th. March 24th is the release in Japan, and God, hopefully I get to play it then, but I guess we'll see. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, everybody.